question of stigma is very strong. When I came here, the villagers grouped around me.
Yes.
And they told me, they said, next door, both parents are dead. And I live in 3 children. The eldest is 8. The next is 4. And the youngest is 2. The child of 8 is looking after the family.
Yeah.
And they say, no, we give them food. And in fact, we're going there now to give them food. So I accompany them. They stand in front of the door some distance away,
Yes.
and put the food in a plastic and then throw it inside the hut.
Yeah. This was in northern Natal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Limpopo.
Yeah. Oh, in Limpopo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Iceland.
Okay. Raining outside.
Okay, I know you're going to do what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah, okay.
Let's say it. If you separate, you can get a
nice
to do
long
something with
bit.
it.
so I then decided to demonstrate to them that you can actually go in and touch the children and sit there.
Yeah.
So I sat there for about 25 minutes. And I came out holding 2 children. You won't believe this. Now these are people who came round or wanted to greet me and so on.
Yes.
But when I came out, they all moved away from me.
There's so many people who don't understand. It's the same in England too.
You know, by the way, in Europe too.
Yeah.
I was in jail when I read of a case, a trial, under a judge. And then the accused in the course of the trial said, I have AIDS. The judge was first to run out, to leave the bench and to run out.
Are you reading
Yeah. And the prosecutor, clerk of the court, and of the audit, all ran out.
Yes.
And it took Princess Diana, who went to a hospital with AIDS sufferers, entered their ward, shook hands with them, and sat on their bed
Yeah.
for about 30 minutes,
Yeah.
then came out. And people then said, well, if a British princess can actually shake hands with AIDS sufferers and sit down for about 30 minutes, then there's nothing in this superstition.
That's right.
I think she did a lot to show people about the reality of AIDS.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
She said that Laura said she thought that Princess Diana did a lot to show people the reality of AIDS.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
We're involved with a charity in London that helps families affected by HIV called Grandmas, and basically we become like the granny. I become like a granny to the family.
I'm sure.
And we did a course, you know, to introduce it to us. And I thought you couldn't drink from the same cup or whatever, but you might be able to get it. But all of that, those myths were dispelled, and the family come and stay at our house, and it's nothing. It's
You're concentrating on your having workers. You are neglecting the countryside where you come from. On the other hand,
See you later. Take care.
next time I see you, you'll be a fully qualified attorney.
Yeah, I hope so.
Good luck.
Ismail tells me that You have vowed to shake the foundations of the law.
Hello.
Yes, darling, how are you?
Fine, and you?
Very good,
Mm-hmm.
very good. Now I'm going to finish that now.
No, it's fine.
These young fellows thought I would finish at 2 o'clock today.
We were going to be here for the while,
No, I just want to ask you.
And I've
any
disappointed
questions
them.
quickly.
so you want us to be.
If you, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Sure,
No.
okay. Chief, we'll excuse ourselves.
Deputy Minister of Justice. She came, just jumped into my office this time and says, why do you appoint somebody who has no legal qualification as a Deputy Minister of Justice? I said, look, say to me, good morning, Tata, and sit down. And then I asked, how am I, and so on. And then they can come to the problem. And he says, no, I must know. I'm too angry. I said, be angry, on the seat. And don't be angry standing. Just like the father. I don't know what she's going to pick me for today. But I said, you come with her husband. Because...
Is this Komotso?
Eh?
Komotso.
What about?
Komotso, is that
Yeah.
you do it? Yeah.
I say, come with her husband. And to all these young ladies, beauty queens, when I come, I say, none of you must come here without your wife.
But Komotso's husband is a very timid fellow, very nice person.
Who?
Komotso's husband.
Oh, I see, yes,
I
what?
only met him once.
Oh, no,
I
he's
see
very
Komotso
well.
quite
A
often.
lovely boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Right. What are you going to do about it? About it?
Oh, I see.
Okay, no,
Lift it so I can get the under it.
yeah,
And he slips it on it. No, you've got to give the loss a
oh, I
chance.
see, right.
That's it.
It was a good thing, which
Okay.
was an extra
Yeah.
3 per hour.
You're going to teach you. And then lost it. See?
That's great. I learn quickly.
And do you do this with Prince Charles? I mean, you sit with Prince Charles. Do it
I
with
have
him.
done some, but not all of the,
Okay.
the recent editions. More I've been involved on the painting side, where, for example, he forgot to paint in a foreground on a picture, and I've said it just needs a bit of the drive leading up to Balmoral, otherwise Balmoral looks as if it's floating in the air. So, and he said, oh, if I finish it, he said, it might spoil it, you never know, with watercolours. And I thought, oh, it'll be fine, sir, don't worry. And, well, I don't know, when I go back to a picture, it always looks worse. So,
No, he's a very fine chap, that.
he is, yeah.
And I like his criticism of modern architecture.
Architecture, yes. I love the phrase that he used when he called a plan for the for the National Gallery to have a modern extension
Yeah.
as looking like a carbuncle on the face of a much-loved friend.
Right.
It was one of those lovely pieces of terms of phrase that I never forget.
Oh, he's a lovely fellow.
Well, we've raised £4 million so far from the sale of his lithographs.
Oh, I see.
That's been over the last 12 years. And he gives the money to around, well, so far at least
Charity.
400 charities, smaller charities,
Yeah.
lots of small charities, and they vary. They're international disaster appeals. There's things like the Gurkha welfares, you know, the Gurkha army, the welfare for the widows, Gurkha people.
I went with him, you know, when I was being a state president.
Yeah.
Some area where the majority of the people are blacks.
Brixton?
Huh?
You went to Brixton?
That's right, yeah.
Yes, your name is all over Brixton.
Well, he was more popular than I am.
I don't know.
And
I don't know. I think that's...
people pass me went and shook hands with him. Because he's a very humble chap.
Yes, yes,
And
he probably learnt it from you.
you know,
But no, it was a very successful visit. I remember seeing it on the television.
no, we had to be taken away, you know, because the crowd became riotous.
Yeah, yeah,
Everyone wanted to greet,
yes,
and we were in danger, you know, of a stampede.
yes,
So they called the mounted police, and I saw how disciplined their horses are.
yeah,
Because in that stampede, you know, you hit against the thigh of the horse and it doesn't do anything.
mm,
So they had to take us to the police station, that's where we had to,
Brixton Police Station.
that's
It's a
right.
famous place for.
Yeah.
It's mostly full of drug addicts.
Infamous.
Infamous. Mostly for drug addicts. And,
Yeah.
yes.
No, I was impressed with him because without joking, he was quite popular.
Yes. He's very, very good with the
Yes.
young people and the Prince's Trust,
Yes.
which is a different charity. We actually don't work for that. And that's it gives young people an opportunity to start their own business. And they'll give a £5,000 interest-free loan and a mentor, so that somebody will actually help the young person with information on how to start their business and to keep an eye on them for those difficult first few years. And it's given so many people opportunities.
Hundreds and hundreds of young
Yes,
people.
but a wide range. People to set up their music businesses and sports businesses and things where banks would never look at them. The Prince's Trust has really been fantastic.
You know, the Queen is also remarkable. In public, she's very stiff. But when I stayed in Buckingham Palace, she was a totally different person.
Yeah,
She stay herself,
yes.
and she becomes really mother.
That's nice.
When I saw Margaret Thatcher for the first time, we were supposed to have a meeting for 1 hour. Our meeting lasted for 3 hours. And I had to ask for an excuse. And I then went to Neil Kinnock to follow me. And very excitedly, he says, "How is the young lady?" I said, "She was warm and motherly." He says, "Warm and motherly? You must have met another lady."
Yeah, the Iron Lady, she's known as.
I think it was President Mitterrand said of her, she has the eyes of Caligula and the legs of Marilyn Monroe. Only a Frenchman would say that.
That one was good because we used France as the gateway to Europe. Because we were deliberate. Because Mitterrand is a man who has fought the Germans, went underground, and remained in this country and fought. And we reckon that he understood our position very well. And we went there. And the British, complained to him. It's wrong to treat this man like a head of state. After all, he's a terrorist who was lucky to escape the gallows. That's what the British said.
When was that?
In 1990, when I went, June 1990.
Sure.
And it was not a knee-jerk reaction. Wherever I went, the British ambassadors took up that attitude. But a very interesting case, very humiliating one, a humorous one, was in Pakistan. The High Commissioner went to Nawaz Sharif, the Prime Minister, and launched a strong protest. They ignored him, and they said, no, this is Pakistan. We are going to give him the treatment that it desires. So he left in protest. On the evening of the Baghdad, the High Commissioner came, British High Commissioner, and of course, at the door. I don't know why it didn't go after lodging such an objection.
You must have met so many interesting people over the years.
Well, that's true.
Betty Boothroyd, do you remember her?
Yeah?
Betty Boothroyd, she was the Speaker of the House of Commons.
She looks
Oh,
like
I
our
see.
friend.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, she sends her best wishes. She was in the gallery last week,
Oh, I see.
and she said to mention the opening of the, your honorary doctorate at the Open University. But I hear you've got more than
Brilliant.
one. So,
Doctor.
I've warned my wife that now when I go abroad, I'm going to leave her in the kitchen because she seems to be competing with me and she's winning.
Getting more doctorates than you.
Yes. You see, I was pleased with Bill Gates because when he saw that we had formed the foundation, he then invited us to Seattle. He gave her $5 million because she also has a foundation
yes.
and gave me $10 million. I was satisfied with that. But his partner gave each one of us $7.5 million.
Wow.
That I didn't like.
No.
And I gave her 10 million. That next time, I'm going to leave her in the kitchen.
Then you'll get 15.
I've been preaching the idea of the equality of the sexes, but not in my house.
Not when they compete with you. Huh?
That's wonderful.
The one who appeared arrogant, as I told her when I addressed the meeting the other evening, was Oprah.
Yes.
I go to her. It was in October, and I don't know. And I say, I talk about my foundation. When I finish, she says, the foundation is something very small. I'll give you money for that, but what else can I do? I say, no, I can't do that. I've told you the aims and objects of my foundation. She says, all right, on the 19th of December, I'll be in a village. And indeed she came. I hid the thing because I was afraid of a stampede, but it didn't help. She was hardly there for 30 minutes when some sort of alarm went out. And everybody in the village, including the chief, came to the house and recited to the police, they must hold them outside. And we went out. It was real chaos. The people wanted to take a picture with her. And I was pushed aside as if I had leprosy. Everybody was rushing for her.
So she must be very popular here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
No, that's true. And then she gave me $10 million to build a school for girls.
Yeah. That's
And then
fantastic.
said, do you mind if I give this money to the National Minister of Education, God asked me.
Yeah.
He is a very bright fellow with a go. He has a drive. She agreed.
Mhm.
But I said, no, but you keep it in the States. And we will demand it when we're going to pay
Yes.
the builder, installment by installment.
Mhm.
And she agreed. So we went to open on the 24th, the other day when she came. In May,
Friday.
Yeah.
Friday, that's right. Oh, she's a good girl.
I've heard wonderful things about the work that she does in
No,
all
absolutely.
over the place. Very, very good one. Yeah.
Absolutely.
In a very small way, we built a school in India
Did you
this
bring a
year.
camera?
Sorry?
In
Did you
memory
bring
of
a
my
camera?
son who died last year.
Just a
You
few.
could take a picture of.
In a very,
Shall I get my
very,
camera?
very poor
Well, you can
village.
use mine now.
And I'm sure.
Want to have some coffee?
One,
Tea?
2, 3, 4.
Tea or coffee, Anna?
Some coffee would be lovely.
Huh?
Some coffee would be lovely.
No, good.
Thank
Not a
you.
glass of water, if that's just to be difficult.
To you, please, Ishmael.
You not
And for
drink
young
tea?
lady?
I'm sorry?
For you, what do you want?
Just a glass of cold water would be lovely.
Cold water?
Cold water.
No.
Cold water with a bit of whiskey in it.
No, that's for you, Ross.
Thank you.
Oh, can we go and buy you a milkshake?
Or a nice banana milkshake. Yeah.
You say if you double your weight, your boyfriend will love you even more.
I
You see,
try, I
as-
do try. I eat lots of chocolate.
As young fellows, we believed in a woman who was like a tank. You see, if you are sitting here... and
I
she's
don't
coming-
think, Chief, you're impressing anybody because they've all read your
Yeah.
autobiography and they know your views.
That's right.
Well,
After the young lady you ran away from.
you see, we want a young lady. If you are sitting here and she's coming along the passage, you hear from the steps that, no, this is a heavyweight. And from the breathing. How did the young lady work it? I also always tell these young ladies here,
African men prefer
like
bigger
Vanessa
women.
Carrera and so on, and Krishna Naika,
Yeah.
but during our time we would never qualify.
Yeah.
You haven't got the dignity.
To make the heavyweight division.
That's right.
I got the stills camera. If you want it.
Right, this one.
Yeah, both. There's black and white.
Oh, right,
If you
yes.
put it here, you know, this way you can be faster.
Right.
There we go.
What you need to do.
I can see you've been doing some lovely work this morning. The hand, that your handprints. You've been, yes. Have you had fun?
So Ross slipped
I see.
and
Good.
Yeah, we got his hands all dirty this morning.
Yes.
Yeah, paint all over him.
And I can see that it looks like Africa in the palm of this near one.
Well,
It
we did
does.
3 like that.
I did 3. It's bizarre. It'll make a wonderful story in the newspapers. Have you tried yours,
Mine.
Ishmael? What's yours?
No,
the Isle of
no,
Wight?
no.
Have you tried yours?
Ebury Street.
Yours is just Africa, isn't it?
You know,
Ours
I
is a
lived in-
triangle like this.
I
at
don't...
number 11.
Really? Is that the Buckingham Palace end, or is it the other at the
Buckingham
Pimlico?
Palace end.
Really?
And the house is still there. Plus, I showed it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got quite
said, why didn't
excited
you buy it when you were a
taking
student?
Down to your...
I said he should have bought it when he was a student.
I should have.
yes.
Did you say you lived in Ebury Street as a
I lived in
student?
Ebury Street as a student, yeah.
And where were you at university? LSE?
Yeah.
That's where I wanted to go. I told my father that I liked it because they spent most of their time out on the streets demonstrating.
More or less, yeah.
And you told me to
I
go
think
to
they
the...
were just about fed up with me at the end of it and just said, go.
Were you a street demonstrator?
So were you out on the streets?
Most of the time.
Yes. It sounded great fun.
Wonderful.
You got a degree in
Especially
demonstration.
on the first day of college, and the professor said that there are 68 of you in this class, 66 of you will pass. And he was wrong by 1. 67 of us passed. So you had to do...
You weren't the one, were you?
No. I was included in that 67.
How are you doing on timings? Have you got your production run up to?
You're going at 12, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We slowed the signing down.
I hope not. They look very good framed, and
I've never seen one framed.
Have you?
I've got a set for you, Ishmael. I have it in framed now.
Oh, thank you.
we had the HCs in the gallery.
Yes.
You know
The original print.
yes,
I hope you've changed them now.
we have. Yes, yes,
Because the colours were lighter and all.
Yes.
This was the first print process.
yes.
Are
And
you
we're,
going back tomorrow?
we're going back Wednesday night.
So you're going to Cape Town?
No, we're
You're
not.
not going to Cape Town.
No, we're just.
So you're not
Come
going
down
Do
in
you enjoy
February.
doing the drawing?
Then come down
Do
in
you enjoy
February.
doing the
No, very
drawing?
much.
We can,
Yeah?
Very much.
Yeah.
Did you find it relaxing?
Well, rewarding.
I'd love to be able to draw or paint.
Well, yes, you can learn. It was lovely seeing your new work, the paintings.
I'll show those paintings.
Yes, the very strong colours and a very strong identity of your own work. It was really interesting. I think, yes.
You can
Doing market research.
Yes, we are. We'll come
the launch
for the.
In principle, it's all approved. But
Yes.
Zelda's the person there.
Screw the data over. We'll hold it down.
But there are other things happening if they do it.
And so on the second is that big.
Concept.
That's a sharp one.
Looked like you're not too impressed with it when they had them before.
I'd like to see the concept.
Yeah,
Should we
I'd
do
love to
some
see the
shopping?
commitment from Bino.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Our two children were in the gallery having a lot of fun the other day. Oh, well, that's the lady. Her name
All
is.
right, let me just finish.
Sorry, you finish your. Yeah, her name is Fred, and that's her family.
Oh, this one.
This is the lady who's written to you,
Uh-huh.
and that's her family there. Lovely children.
Who is this, like Hudson?
This is her.
Hux. I've seen a
It's
very
her partner.
notorious figure in our town.
That's-
In your town.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's for you.
I
She
see.
sent that, and there's a letter and a Christmas card and so on.
Very good. It's nice to be an old man. Well, during my younger days, I didn't have these offers.
No.
I always point out when people come to meetings, which I'm going to address, come in large numbers. And they say, I know why you're here.
Yes.
He's a notorious, Hawkson's a notorious scam artist.
We'll have to tell her.
Terrible thing to have.
Finish your coffee.
You want to have your coffee first?
Okay.
Just have a drink.
They would use mud as soap, and they would smear his body. And then somebody throws water on his head, and he comes down and he washes away the mud. Now he washes in the front of everybody, men and women, watching. And then once a week, he has about 50 virgins in a room. And he goes through them the whole night. And he emerges feeling very strong. When I told my wife this, she says, no, that's part of exploitation of the women. See, in 1997, I had a scheme of how to set up the national executive. And one of the proposals I made was that there should be an equal number of men and women on the national executive. And I went round with the provinces. At that time we had 4 provinces. And when I went into the Northern Cape, and I put this proposal. And then says, no, I accept what you've said. I accept this question for women. I don't want to be ruled by women. There were 2 women in the executive, provincial executive. And they threw up a lot of dust. They were seated. And this man says, no, no, no. Don't misunderstand me. I think I hate women. I don't. In fact, I've got 2 wives. And women became worse. They all got up, and I was afraid that they were going to choke him. And I said, no, this scheme has been accepted by many people. So, and I said, don't worry about him. But it was difficult to get the meeting in order again after that.
Well, we still have very few women in our parliament in comparison with the number of men. It's,
Even in England,
in England, yes.
we have 8 ladies in the cabinet.
Yes.
Yes.
But we have had a woman prime minister, which is unusual.
Yes, quite.
And we have the Queen.
That's frightening the rest of the world.
Yes.
They went to the Queen and Margaret Thatcher went to a function, and they were wearing similar dresses. And Margaret Thatcher phoned the Queen and said, "I'm sorry that we had similar dresses. Next time we go to a party together, we must tell each other what kind of dress, the color, she's going to wear." And Her Majesty replied, Her Majesty never notices what another person is wearing.
No, there was one of my favourite stories was, I was telling with Ross, was when the Queen went to a little shop near the Sandringham estate, just with a headscarf round her neck, and bought some groceries. And the lady behind the counter said to her, "You do look awfully like the Queen, you know, dear." And the Queen turned to her and said, "Oh, how very reassuring." How very reassuring.
Oh, I see. No, this butler has made a terrible mistake. By
Mr.
exposing.
Barrel.
Paul Barrel, yeah.
Oh, the butler, yes.
Yes. What she used to do with Diana.
It seemed as though there was a terrible leak from a lawyer's office, where he actually wrote in an affidavit the truth as he saw it about his relationship with the princess and things that he had to do. And this, he'd never wanted to come to court. And then, after the court case collapsed, the document was mysteriously leaked to one of our newspapers.
I see.
And it was not his intention, nor his lawyer's intention, that that would come out. And I think various people tried to make sure it didn't. And there were only 3 copies of it, and each person denies that it was them that leaked it.
Check the bank account.
It must have been
Check the
paid
bank
for.
accounts, yes. These are very big, strong signatures now, aren't they?
No, it
Do we
was
need
very
some
bad.
sharpening?
No, apparently Prince Charles has lost a stone in weight with all the worry.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, the day before I went to Walford,
Yes, you did, yes.
I was with him and
Yes.
Her Majesty.
Yes.
And when I told him I was going to Walford, well, he got surprised, he didn't know.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, it's lucky that I discovered this on the eve of my trip there. Because it's too late for me to change.
Yes.
If I'd known earlier, I probably would have changed and declined the invitation.
Yes.
Because even the princes, his son, I wrote them letters inviting them, and they said they would not be around. And then after speaking to Prince Charles, I realized why they said so.
It was at the most sensitive time that you came actually with this
Yes,
the court thing, and in fact the news of you being there and going to Walford was totally eclipsed by the scandal of the Paul Barrel case collapsing.
yes.
No, there's it's done an enormous amount of damage,
Yes, of course.
and maybe the full story is not out yet.
There are some people who are saying that the immunity of the Queen must be withdrawn.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
legally that sounds fair.
And they have started with Princess Anne.
Yes.
Her dogs biting some children.
Yes.
In the old days they would say, well, that's a blessing. But the values are changing now.
No.
When I was a child, I listened to my mother's. My father had 4 wives. And as ruling chief, his financial position was slightly better than the rest. So they were eating a meal. My 4 mothers and women from the village. And one of the ladies from the village asked another lady, also from the village, does your husband ever beat you? And the other one says, no. And then the first one says, then he doesn't love you. So, those were the standards that the Majority Council is free to go out and take unilateral action. They are undermining what Churchill and President Roosevelt agreed upon in 1941, because the idea of the United Nations comes from those two.
Yes.
I would expect a Blair to obey a decision from his predecessor.
Yeah.
Can give him 60% of their vote. Seems to me it's no longer Britain but a you. Because he really is simulating Britain. Because Bush is a very arrogant chap. He doesn't even mention Britain. If you don't, he threatens the United Nations. If you don't accept my proposal, I'll strike. America will strike. No mention of Britain.
I think a lot of people feel that America thinks they are the world.
Yes.
You what?
A lot of people feel that America thinks that they are the world. You know, they don't have to think about the rest of the world.
And that there is no world outside of America.
No, I don't agree with that at all.
No, exactly. This is very nice, the way that the signature has gone actually into the cell. It looks wonderful. Yeah.
When I mentioned the matter of the Clinton, it's quite clear. He wants to be careful because the wife is standing for the presidency in future,
Yeah.
and he doesn't want to make any radical statements. He explained that the attitude of Tony Blair on the ground that he wants to maintain the link between America and the EU.
Well, there are many Britons who would feel a stronger affinity to the United States than to Europe. Because historically we've been at war with Europe, and the European economy, the moment, especially with Germany, and the reunification has been very weak. And I don't know, it's for many people.
Conrad Schroeder has been quite good, you know.
Yes, he has. Yeah.
And of course Jacques Chirac, Vladimir Putin, and then the People's Republic of China. I spoke to all of them,
Yeah.
and they welcome our stand.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know why the other heads of states throughout the world are not speaking. Because that is what is going to make America even more arrogant. They are just ignoring the inspectors and giving them orders. They must be aggressive.
That's upside down. Whoa. Ross,
Sorry.
what are you doing? Ross is falling asleep.
There'd be someone like one upside down.
Yeah.
It would appeal to all markets.
Then it would be an abstract.
Yeah.
Some on the side.
In America, they have these remark editions. Do you know about those?
Yeah.
Where they have little.
Faces
The artist does a little doodle on the side or something like that, a little smile face or whatever, and anything stupid. It doesn't matter what it is, but it means it's been personalised. And there's myself.
Is that after their time?
At the same time.
Wow.
In the United States, you can have 500 people together, you ask for money, and they'll compete
Yes.
and give you the money.
To impress
So
you.
when I went to Britain,
Yes.
I brought in a number of business people
Yes.
and I explained about the Children's Fund at the Foundation, what they are doing. When I finished, nobody opened his mouth. I again started afresh, mentioning new facts. Again, nobody said anything. Then we adjourned. Now they came one by one. I'm going to give you 100,000 British pounds. Tiny Orwell's wife, I'll give you 1 million British pounds. But not at the meeting with others.
No.
No, they're not like the Americans.
No. No. They wouldn't.
Yes,
They wouldn't dream of
I
that.
learned something new.
No. That's. Yeah. We British are a rum lot, you know. Very strange.
Very difficult. And we can change things.
Well, Margaret Thatcher beat them. My wife and I go to see her,
Yes.
and she spends 30 minutes grilling us about conditions in South Africa and Mozambique, where my wife comes from.
Yes.
Well, I was afraid that I was going to be late for another appointment. And I said, Margaret, she said, no, just hold on. Bring me that envelope. 25,000 British pounds. And the trustees, when we brought the money, they said, no, we don't want it. Why? Now she opposed sanctions against us. I said, we have worked with the drug and mutilation. They actually killed hundreds of our people. Why didn't you protest? Who has Margaret Thatcher killed? Take the money.
You know, St James's Palace used to say that they would never accept sponsorship for events that involved whiskey and cigarettes, or drinks and cigarettes.
Yes, I told the Secretary General that I wanted to go to the South African breweries and ask for 5 million rand. They said, no, you can't go there. Why? Because they do, what do you call it? Terrible liquor. I say, if you've got 5 million,
Anyway.
you give me 5 million, I won't go. But if you're just talking, I'm going. I went, and I got that $5 million. I mean, rand.
Yeah.
They also objected when I went there to Indonesia under Suharto. I said, I want $10 million. If you have got them, give them to me. But if you're just lecturing to me and without giving me money, I'm going. I went, I landed, I was taken straight to his palace. And I told him that I want 10 million. He said he must come back tomorrow morning. So the following morning I was taken to him. And he says, you asked me for $10 million. Here it is, check. I also owe the Africa Fund $900,000. I'm giving that to you. So I said, thank you. He says, no, you thank me outside. Because there was a press, local and foreign. So we went outside. You asked me for $10 million. Here it is. Gave it to me, and of course the cameras flashed. I also owe the Africa Fund, $900,000. I'm giving it to you. Here it is. And that's how I took wine. In jail, when I had to have visitors, these are the last 4 years of my sentence, they moved me to another jail because I was now negotiating with them. And you know the prisoners, I'm talking now about common law prisoners, very sharp. That's why they're in jail. They're very sharp.
This morning, your house in Polsmo has been declared a National Heritage Site.
In?
The Polsmo house.
Oh, I see.
Did they not tell you? Because they called me on Friday and said I should be there this morning.
Oh,
And I said, you're not there. So they said they know. So I said, I'm with you this morning. But they wanted me there this morning because it's... And I didn't understand why they only decided on Friday. So it's now a National Heritage Site, the house in Polsmo. It's called something else now. Not Polsmo, sorry, Victor Verster. The house in Victor Verster.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So now it's on a par with Stonehenge.
More or less, yeah.
It's on a par with Stonehenge.
You see, okay. Now, you see, when I was negotiating, they used to lock up, and then after lock up in the evening, then the warders come and open. And they said,
You will,
food here, the food
We
stands.
still have time, we can do one.
Okay.
All right.
We'll do one more and
How many?
then we'll take a smaller box.
I see.
Yes.
I'll use that big charcoal here.
To just to
You want to use the
be
charcoal?
Yeah.
able
To
to
get this.
go down the garden or go to a piece of scenery at Balmoral and to paint. And he takes instruction from artists who travel with him around the world.
From?
Artists,
Oh, I see, okay.
British artists who travel with him on
Yes.
his world tours.
They never make mention of it. I mean, it's just.
Well, there's the book. There is
Okay.
a book about.
I was just saying that we had a girl help with the basics of this,
Yes,
and you know, because it's very much the same. They don't need a mention.
yeah. And the Prince's work has changed a lot over the last 10 years.
Mm.
He's been painting for 30 years there.
There's lots of pieces.
Yes, quite a lot. I think he throws away a lot that don't work, he just bins them.
Mm.
And he'll crop them down so that a much larger picture, only one bit of it he'll be happy with. So he cuts all the
Chop
rest
it down.
away. Or chops it down. But it was lovely, the paint that you used. It was acrylic paint, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it's an acrylic oil combination. I don't know how
Really?
they mix it in.
It's very good. When you wrote about the Robben Island series, you said that colours are very symbolic in Africa.
Oh, I see.
Yes. And the
Yeah.
window, what about the window picture in particular? Because it's got really notable colours with the maroon and the orange.
Oh, yes.
Bright colours.
Well, that window, you know, was actually a window to the world,
Yeah.
because I could see quite a lot, and I could see my mental horizons expanding.
And the strong orange is very African, that you used in the window bars.